That's I love it. I love it. Every single time I hear my new intro, I'm just like, I love it. It's the best. But it's that wonderful, wonderful time of the year where we turn the clock ahead and we have a brand new year ahead of us. And I'm super excited today. We've got an awesome show for you all. I'm going to just sort of square everything up here. I'm drinking coffee. We're not drinking alcohol this early, but we may flip over. So today I'm drinking out of the one and only Drone Valley Cup. And you know what they say? The best part of waking up is a Drone Valley Cup. You can get it on Drone Valley's website. No, seriously, you can. They're like for sale. All righty. So I hope everybody's having a great new year. So far, it's a beautiful day. We're going to be giving away a DJI Mini 2. We're going to select the winner. Technically, the winner has already been drawn thanks to Gleam. There was a lot of invalid winners because I said two things. There was two things I said in this giveaway that apparently India cannot fucking comprehend. I said this is a US only giveaway. Overseas, this giveaway isn't for you. There was 9,965 entries. Out of those 9,565 entries, like 6,000 of them were from freaking India. When I say it's a US only giveaway, that means the US. Okay? Cool. All right, just making sure we understand that for future giveaways. Fucking people. All righty. So we've got a guest on. We're gonna have a couple of guests. We're gonna we'll have a couple of guests. We've got a guest. I'm streaming during the day at this hour because I wanted to bring on a guest from overseas. So we're going to have that happening today. So that's going to be pretty cool. Somebody who I feel has been a bit of an inspiration to myself for my course, the trajectory of 2020. So bring him on in a little bit. No Paul today. There is no Paul because Paul has family over and this is too early for him to stream and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I digress because these are the sacrifices you make when you want to do things for YouTube. So I'd pour one out for you, Paul, but this is damn good coffee. All righty. So let's go ahead and jump in the chat and see who we got. We got a lot of people here today. We've got Drone and On here. Finally, it's an American streaming at a decent time of the day. Not going to disagree with you. This is a good time of day to stream. I would stream at this time of day if it was conducive to everything else. We got Richmond Ariels, Chris Hope, Brad Hendo, Michael Blade, Beach FPV, Al Smighead, Eddie Nunez is here, Dustin Gabble, Bandit, Jack Ison, Place It Here. Let's see, we got David's here, got Drone in Nature, John Coopy, Time to Fly, Chris Hope. I already said that. Didn't I say that? I said that. And we got Cofaction, Droneography, and Doc Murdoch is here. Again, if I didn't say it already, hope you all are having a wonderful day. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm so happy 2020 is gone. But just remember, just because the year changes doesn't mean the shit stops. It's all what you make it, right? That's what they say. That's what was in my fortune cookie anyways. So we'll hopefully hoping this year is a little less of all the bullshit. So, all righty. Let's go ahead and talk about the Mini, because with all of the new rules that have just transpired, the Mini seemingly has become one of the hottest little drones that you can get today and be totally compliant with all of the new remote ID restrictions, because it weighs 249 grams. You don't have to have a broadcast ID. You can basically fly it anywhere you want. There's a lot to really love about the Mini. And it sort of got me thinking that maybe we're going to start seeing a lot more manufacturers trend to this 249 gram mark. Now, even though this drone is 249 grams, what sort of sucks about the rules are that if you are a 107 pilot, or you do plan to use this commercially or for YouTube or whatever you want to do, you're still going to have a broadcast ID, which sort of sucks that that is the case. So, but I think it's going to be pretty cool, though, still, that more companies will be putting out mini drones that weigh 249 grams. It's actually not too terrible of a target to hit. It's actually pretty easy to do. So hopefully more people will continue to do this. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest today, somebody who needs absolutely no introduction, who's not been on any American stream in this modern century. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike from Drone Supremacy. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. Excited that 2020 is finally over?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm super stoked that that's done. Hopefully this year is so much better, all the way around the board. Not saying it will be, but there is always that potential that it can be.
It can be much worse, though. So
you're right. It definitely can be much worse, but we'll go with the optimism that it's going to be better. So
absolutely,
your channel has been on fire, man.
Really? Do you think so?
I think so, dude. I think you've struck a good balance between doing the FPV thing and also doing, the GPS drones. Like you sort of are able to ping pong it back and forth to sort of strike that happy medium between all viewers.
Yeah, well, in terms of analytics, it's actually not going so well. But when you're doing what you love, it doesn't really matter, because GPS drones is what it's all about on my channel originally. What started my channel. So people are familiar with my content, and it's mostly about camera drones, right?
Exactly.
The DJI drones and all sorts of other camera drones. But when it comes to FPV, it's really like a passion project. So it's definitely something that I'm more interested nowadays. And of course, I'm more geared towards making that type of content right now. So I see that there is no such interest towards FPV as of right now compared to original.
I think that's going to change, though.
Yeah, it will. It might change next month.
Yeah,
or this month even. Who knows?
Well, I'm thinking probably later, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that with obviously, it's no big secret that DJI's got a FPV drone on the horizon, right? And I think because just what they do specifically, it'll garner interest, because if they make it easy enough for pilots to migrate over, maybe that will be what people need. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because I guess I'm biased and jaded by it all in the same, because I decided to learn 6 months ago the hard way. Like crash build, super expensive, do the simulators the right way. And then you have this drone that's sort of like an easy way out, essentially. And it's like, for me, I'm sort of like, I'm not really okay with that, because I think when you start flying FPV, there's a certain sense of responsibility that you have to have,
Absolutely.
and it's not easy. It's not easy to do. It is fun. It is cool that there would be more interest, because that interest would garner more attention to our channels, obviously, because I've noticed the same thing. The FPV stuff doesn't quite get the same bite as the GPI. You talk about mini anything,
Absolutely.
and people are falling out of their chairs. Their hearts are populating. I mean, it's unbelievable. But
Yeah.
you talk
Yeah.
about FPV, and people just don't give a shit, which sucks, because I could fly like 24. I could just fly 24/7. I don't give a shit. But
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
doesn't
But
work.
the thing is, with the Mini, it's just one model. And with FPV, it's mostly custom, or even if it's not
Right.
custom, there's so many different models that you can choose from. So, of course, people are not as interested in all the different product reviews and stuff as they are with DJI drones, because we don't have that many options. But
Right.
like I said earlier, it's when it's a passion project, it's something that you like. And I think in your channel and in mine as well, people can really appreciate that we are putting a little bit of ourselves into the videos. And,
Right.
it's
Exactly.
not just a video so we can make a video and upload it on YouTube. It's something that we actually enjoy doing. So even if it's getting less views, or people are not as interested as they usually are in camera drones, it shouldn't really matter, because in the long run, you are attracting the viewers who will be interested in that. So in that regard, my channel is not growing as it was like 1 year ago, but I'm actually happier with how things are going. So
I think it's
it's not
better with
all
the
about
people
the
that stick
numbers.
around. You notice the people that stick around when your channel is not,
Yeah, yeah.
not super, you don't have, I don't want to call them bandwagon subscribers, but you have the people that are like, all right, this is
Oh, for
great. This is
sure,
what
for
I
sure.
like. And they're going to stick around. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to interact. And I always think about it like this. I'd rather build a community than a channel, if that makes sense. So
It
I'd rather
definitely
have a
does. Yeah.
community than a channel. And it sucks, because I've always heard it from other people. You don't grow as fast because you curse too much, or you say things that aren't always appropriate. But honestly, I won't change that for nothing. I won't change. And I've heard other creators
That makes you
tell me
different.
this. Yeah, I've heard other creators tell me this too, that, oh, I can't do it, or I've had it said to me that I can't really do a video with you because your content would not be conducive to the brands I work with. That's what I've heard from people. So to those select people that have said that, go fuck yourself, because when I get to a certain point,
Yeah, well said.
I'm gonna smack you right in the face.
That's true.
But
That's
that's
true. And
that
that's the
sucks that
thing I
people are
like
like that.
about you, though. That's the thing I like about you, because you are different. You're not going through, those tracks that other people have built. You are doing your own stuff, that the one that makes you happy. So
Right,
even if
exactly.
it's cursing or doing things differently, that's the thing that people know you for. So that's something that I really enjoy. That's why I wanted to work with you on a joint video that we did
And
about
that was
the
fun, man.
FPV problems. Yeah, it
That was
was, and I definitely want to do it more.
Yeah,
And the
it's
funny
hard.
thing
It's
is,
hard.
yeah, yesterday I was saying that this year will be all about collaborations,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
agree.
the first day of the new year, and here we go. We're
Yeah,
starting
well,
with the collabs
that's when
already.
I saw that. I was like, I'm gonna hit him up, because I decided today that we were gonna stream earlier, because one, it's like it's gorgeous out, and I'm like, I want to fly. I don't want to be like, streaming at night sort of sucks, because I have to wait all day, and I sort of tailor the
Yeah,
day around the stream. So streaming during the day, a day that I know that most Americans are probably off, most people around the world are probably hungover, and just like, what do I do? We're not going out. We're not doing the normal things for New Year's that we used to do. So let's do something. By the way, Johnson 23, thank you so much. Or maybe I said that wrong. I probably did, but thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well, Scott. With the 4.99 super chat. But yeah, I mean, this I want to try to get more. There's a lot of creators over in Europe, overseas, that I interact with all the time, that I never get a chance to get on the show because of the time difference. It's really
yeah,
hard. So
yeah.
I'm trying to do
I've
this
never
more
watched
often.
any of your streams live, because they're always at 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah,
I always catch
it
up with
sucks,
them
man.
later.
I
Yeah.
always forget about that. So
Yeah,
you,
but I was really, really happy that you changed your mind about the one today.
Yeah, no, I wanted the intention was for New Year's we were gonna do the intention always was in my mind mentally that I wanted to stream at this hour. Whether we had an audience or not, I
Right,
was like,
right, right.
we're gonna stream at this hour because I think it's a great hour to stream. But what I want to talk to you too is you've gotten your hands on a lot of different FPV quads. A lot of people keep asking me, well, what is the right way to go? What should I choose? I've seen you've flown everything from iFlight's new ProTac to the new Beta FPV SMO, that whole deal. So talk to me. What today is your favorite micro quad to fly? I want to call it micro quad, but what's your favorite micro quad to fly today?
Mm. It has to be the ProTech. I think
You think
the ProTech 25. Yeah. Well, I haven't flown the new home FPV, the one that you did a
the home
review on.
FPV is good. They're sending me the wingsuit now, and I'm not gonna lie. When I first got it, I was like, "Oh crap, this thing is all over the place. What the hell?" I was using a 4S battery, so they tuned the little
Oh,
microns for a 3S battery. So as soon as I put a 3S battery
yeah.
on, I was like, "Okay, wow, this is way
Flies
more
very
manageable."
differently. Yeah.
Way more manageable. And then you throw a naked GoPro on there and you're like, wow, this is all right. This is smooth. I just
Yeah.
don't like how small they are because I can't put a crossfire receiver. So now I have to fly it with the DJI receiver, which I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just one more thing to carry around if I'm trying to go somewhere and be inconspicuous, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did put a Crossfire receiver on mine, but I still haven't tested it. Haven't had the chance to do it. But as of right now, to answer your question, the ProTech 25 has to be my number
What,
one
what
of
makes it your
these.
number one, though?
The thing is with the Beta FPV, the 95X, it was great for the most part. It flies really well, but this when you have a little bit of wind, even just a tiny amount of wind, it's just all over the place. Maybe that
Yeah.
was just mine. I'm not sure if everyone is experiencing those same issues, but personally for me it was just a little bit too much. It was drifting too much, and some of my shots were just not smooth enough. Even though the drone itself is smooth, but just because of that
It gets
weight,
blown
it
around in
was
the wind a little bit.
yeah, it was a little bit too much for me. So for me, it's not just all about the size and being able to go through the smallest gaps. It's just also about the balance between the speed and the smoothness. So for me, the Protec, which by the way could be even better if you remove those prop guards, which I haven't tried yet, but I will because I've heard some people really really digging that. But for now, for the flights that I've done with that drone, is just really really balanced between the speed and the smoothness. So
Now, I
for
saw
now,
some
that's my
people were
go-to.
saying that the ESCs were popping, something to do with the software. Did you see the
Yeah,
firmware?
yeah. I did see the video from Joshua Bardwell, and I also had some issues with mine. Well, not really issues. I got a warning from my flight when I received mine because it was a pre-production model, I think. They told me that I need to solder the motors to the ESC directly because they were plugged in.
Okay.
So that's something that they identified as an issue later after shipping mine. But I think that might
They
be
probably
connected
got
to
that
this.
resolved at this point. They have a great
Yeah,
production team.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I haven't had
what's
any issues with it with
what's
the
your
with the drone
favorite
itself.
GPS drone of the year or past year, I should say?
You mean the FPV or?
No. GPS. Like from between
Oh
the
well,
Mavics,
the Air 2 has to be.
you got there too.
Yeah,
I've been
even though the
taking the
Mini 2
mini.
is really close.
I've
Yeah,
been
the Mini
taking
2
the
is
mini
really close.
two basically everywhere I go. I just went up north and I took the mini two with me, and that was the first time I flew it in like really cold weather, and I was actually shocked that it did so well.
It is. It is great. It is. For me, it's just like probably just a mental thing because I have a better drone and I want to have, the best
Yeah,
quality possible. I'm like, why should I take the Mini when I have a better drone, even though it's a little bit bigger? That's the
true.
issue with me. I don't take most of my gear with me when I go to shoot, and then I always regret not taking a camera or a camera drone with
Right.
me. So for now, I'm really focusing on portability, even though I said the Air 2 and not the Mini 2. I'm trying hard. I'm working on that currently to just pick as many things as possible, but in the smallest footprint possible, so I can just be prepared for everything.
And
Because
that's
it's
my
just
I value space. Like when I put everything
yeah,
in the bag,
yeah,
I'm like I
yeah,
value space. So the Mini 2 sort of fits everything. I like the Air 2, but it does take up a little bit of space. I can fit
yeah.
this into more areas, and for me it's just quieter. Like I don't hear it,
Oh
which is
yeah,
a good
yeah,
thing
yeah.
and a bad thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't hear it in a lot of areas. What I also noticed with the Mini 2 is for some reason I'm able to get it to unlock in areas that normally I wouldn't be able to unlock the Air 2 or, let's say the Mavic 2 Pro, which is sort of weird. I don't know if that is by design or if that's just maybe DJI's geofencing being a little bit more forgiving based upon the weight. I'm not really sure, but it certainly would seem that way, that I'm able to
Yeah,
unlock this in pertinent areas,
yeah.
or I don't get
I
the
think it
warning
might be the
prompts.
weight. I
That's what
think
I'm
it might be
thinking.
because of the weight.
That's what I'm thinking. So this has let me down the least. Um, I wish the 4K had decent-alike. I want that extra dynamic range. I'm really hoping for
Yeah,
like a Mini 2 Pro. Like I would
Pro.
love a Mini 2 Pro.
Yeah,
I think we'll see
yeah,
something like that this year. I think there's enough of warrant with the size and weight, and obviously the current American drone laws to say give us a Pro version of the
yeah.
Mini 2. I
Well,
think there
it would
is
make sense.
warrant
It
for
would
it.
make sense for something like this. Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
so, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, now what the hell was I going to say? What bag are you using?
I'm currently using. I'm waiting for a delivery from. Wait, what was the name? The Torval bags. Yeah,
Okay, the Torval bags.
yeah,
That's matter of fact, that's what I use.
yeah.
I
But
love the bags.
I'm using the camera bag, not the FPV bag. It's a little bit different.
Okay,
It's
you're
for
gonna use
camera drones and for
okay,
cameras. It's not the one for FPV, but they will send me the one for FPV as well.
gotcha.
And I just love their quality. I think it's just probably the best in the game right now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I've been using this camera bag that they have. I'm not sure about the name. I did a review on it last
Torval.
year, but yeah, it's
I
really
gotta look at
good.
their bags. I used to use the Peak Design bags, but I'm not really I guess I'm not
No,
really overall very impressed with their bags. So they do all sorts of bags for drone accessories, it looks like. So they have FPV, they have the camera packs, they got the Drone Explorer bag, which looks pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's the one. That's the
That
one.
actually looks really nice.
It is. It has a lot of space on top, which you can roll. Like there is an extra pocket which you can roll and put some clothes on, or something else that normally you wouldn't be able to carry in a
Right.
backpack. And it generally fits everything I need, like my Mavic Air, some cameras, my FPV stuff, and it's just a really big one. It can
Yeah, look
take
at this one.
a lot of
Can it
stuff.
fit a laptop in there though?
Yeah, on the back there is a
Oh,
laptop
I
sleeve.
see it right here. I sort of like that look. And that opens from the
It's
top,
great.
right?
No, it opens from the front.
Opens from the front, but it can fit FPV gear in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, I don't
I
know.
put
That
two.
may be the move. That looks like it's a little bit more portable because
It's
the
a
only
little bit
problem,
more bulky
yeah, the
when
only
you
problem I have
put
with the
everything in
Torvald
there.
bags is I can't take it on a plane and throw it under a seat.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm travel, and the Pit Stop Pro, I don't know. It's a big bag. When you have that thing loaded and you have a
It's pretty
laptop in
long
there,
as well.
it's a long bag. And I brought it on the flight. Now I did pay for luggage when I went up to Philadelphia because I was like, shit, I don't know how this is gonna fit. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna let me bring this. I brought it on the plane and I ended up putting it up top. And I thought to myself, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I paid for that as my carry-on because there would have been no way. There would have been no way. The
Yeah,
stewardess would
yeah.
have been like, no, that's going up top, buddy. So
And you had
yeah,
two
I mean,
drones
they're
on
good
it, right?
bags.
The
What's
two
that?
5-inch drones.
Yeah, you can fit 2 5-inch drones in there. You got to take the props off. You got to take, and I did fit 2 of
Yeah,
them in there. So I mean, that
yeah,
was sort of cool. I
yeah,
mean, because I had everything in there that I needed, but
yeah. So you don't
it's
need anything else, pretty
no,
much.
you don't need anything else. So you know what? We got this Mini 2 here. I want to give this thing away. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a winner here. So let me flip over to where the hell is
That's
it?
exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's let me go over to Gleam because you wouldn't believe how many
Someone will be happy.
invalid
Oh yeah,
entries.
I've done some giveaways on Gleam as well, and yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. It was just such a
It's insane.
pain.
Insane.
Yeah.
I'll never do it again. So I've got the winner here.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the Gleam page, you can check out the winner. And so here it is. Dana Flowers is the winner. Dana is from Arlington, Texas. So Dana Flowers, you are the winner. And I'll be, let's see, I guess I'll announce it like that. So I'll be going ahead. Dana Flowers, Dana F, you are the winner. So I will be reaching out to Dana soon. I will probably be doing we're going to be doing another giveaway on something else, but it's going to be FPV related. But
that's a great giveaway.
I will not be doing it through Gleam. I'll be doing it through something else because I think Gleam is a shit show. I want it to be more controlled than how Gleam.
There are so many websites which are made simply to share giveaways like these. So
yeah,
people who have nothing in common with you are going to join your giveaway.
Well, and that's my problem. I don't want to give it away to somebody I don't necessarily know them. So I mean, that sort of sucks. So like this guy, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's been a subscriber or not,
you can never know.
You just don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess, in that regard. But still,
when you're giving something expensive away, you want it at least to go to someone who deserves it, at least a little bit. So even if you can never control who gets it, it's just a little bit unfair if someone who has never seen your videos before gets a free drone, you know?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the risk you take.
Let's see. I guess I can pin a comment too, right? Dana F wins the Mini 2. I don't know. I've never pinned a comment. Can I pin that? Well, let me pin. Yeah, I can. Oh, it did. Let me pin that. I've never tried that before.
Oh.
All right. So cool. So Dana, if you're in the chat, you can what's going on here?
Sorry, my audio messed up.
Your audio messed up?
Yeah, now it's back to normal.
So yeah, Dana F, I will be reaching out to you via email. So there you go, man. We'll be talking very, very soon on that. So that was cool. Somebody says got the bot grinder tee on. Yeah, I like bot grinder, man. I think he's, in the FPV world, he's the closest to like what I would relate to, just because he just.
I agree on that. I agree on that for sure.
He doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't give a shit.
Definitely.
When I first started watching him, I was like, what the hell? Like I didn't subscribe at first because I was still like trying to feel him out. I was like, what's going on here? But then I started watching his videos more and more, and I'm like, dude, this guy is awesome. Like he just genuinely doesn't care. And he's
very different.
Super, super talented pilot. And what's crazy? We're talking about community. This guy's community is unreal. Look at his numbers that he generates on videos and just the overall interaction. Freaking amazing.
It's all about personality here on YouTube. It's all about that.
I tried linking up with him when I was in Philly. Yeah, he was having a bad day with his GoPro, so that didn't work out too well. But eventually,
that proves this once again that you just have to be different and do the things you like, and people will like you for what you are.
Exactly, and I think is the biggest thing too. So somebody's saying, as you know, listen, the reality is, because people are talking about the Mini 2's down sensors, does the sensor really work? Yeah, the down facing sensor on the Mini 2 does work. I mean, it's not like the best sensor. It's not like the Mavic 2. I mean, here's the deal. If you're looking to buy a drone today in 2020 that you can feel comfortable in knowing that you're going to be able to fly into, let's see, 3 years from now, then this will be the drone that you're going to want to pick up. Plus, too, if you think about it, why is the Mini 2 the best drone, GPS drone you can buy today? It's a $449 drone. It's got 4K. It's got everything you need. And if you live in America, you don't have to worry about those restrictions. And it's $449. It's not going to be as painful as the guys who went out and spent, let's say, $1,600 on the Evo 2 Pro, or let's say even the Mavic 2 Pro. They went out and bought those drones. That's a painful loss, of money when you basically said, okay, now you got to attach some module to it. That sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks to have to spend that money to find out in 3 years from now it's a brick. Now, chances are most people are going to upgrade their drones anyways. How often do you keep your drone? You may lose it, you may break it before then, and they may put out another drone that's going to be compliant with the new rules and regulations. So, I mean, I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are going to panic before that, but I look at it this way. Most consumer drones have a shelf life of, let's say, 3 years. 3 years is a pretty solid shelf life for a drone, because you can't do any maintenance to it. You may have an issue with it. You could have an ESC failure. You can't fix that. You can't fix that. So it is
Yeah.
what it is in that regard. That's why I think that is probably the best. Like, it's a guilt-free drone at this point. And you
Yeah.
guys don't have any rules over there like that, right? You don't have any regulations.
Well, we will, but they actually might be a little bit more strict in the future. They are
Really?
currently working on new proposition for the whole European Union, I think.
Okay.
So nothing is like decided as it is with remote ID for you guys, but they're still working, and it will be hard to fly, I think, in a couple of years, because they will limit us a little bit more than you, I think, when it
And
comes to.
that's sort of disappointing that they're going to get to that point across the world. Like, because you think about
Yeah.
incidents, how many of us fly, and then how many incidents have ever actually have
Yeah.
caused any problems? There isn't.
It's just a restriction. It's not about the accidents. I think they will
Yeah.
just they like to cover themselves before uh, more people start making accidents. But the thing is, at least we are in different countries, so each country will follow their own little rules, or at
Right.
least
Exactly.
they will observe them in a different way. So let's say the police here in Bulgaria will not act the same way as the police in France, for example. So it might be a little bit less strict here for me, as opposed to drone pilots in France, even though
Right.
we have the
Exactly.
same rules. So I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical when it comes to these things, because they're never good for us as pilots. But hopefully it will not be too strict. But for now, I really don't know what's actually going to happen. But at least with FPV for now, we have all the freedom. That's the thing that I actually enjoy a lot, because
I agree. I
you
agree.
know,
And I think when they're talking about these broadcast modules, I think that inevitably we can see these modules incorporated into the drones, depending on how big they are,
yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, this is something that can be adapted into beta flight or whatever service you use.
yeah,
And you got guys like Trappy from TBS that is just an absolute advocate for being able to fly. So where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, he's one of
oh,
the
for
few
sure.
people who is technically, if you think about it, he's beat the FAA when they were trying to fine him an astronomical amount. Not many people know that, but Trappy was represented by Brendan Schulman. So Brendan Schulman was Trappy's lawyer a couple of years back when the FAA was really trying to rail him about a project that took place at a college. He was hired to get aerial footage for this college, and you know the FAA was trying to fine him a significantly large amount, which was later reduced. So I think it was like $11,000, which is still a lot of money, but a lot less money than what they were initially trying to fine him. But Brendan was able to salvage that whole deal. But he's amazing, So I have full
He is.
confidence that TBS will be able to develop a module for us, or who knows, we may be able to see flight controllers that have this built in, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
For
hopefully.
us, but I believe it's going to be something that's going to be a bolt on, like a GPS module, essentially, that you'll be able to bolt on. I mean, with that being said, it's going to be something that you're going to be able to turn on and turn off, essentially. So it is what it is. But I think too, the ability for the ability random send, that's already been done. The winner's been announced. That's done. Dana F. He won the mini. I think that should go for giveaway international. Well, considering the fact that around the holidays, it's hard to get shipping times. I literally said that during the holidays, we weren't going to do an international giveaway because shipping is an absolute shit show. So,
Oh yeah.
as the world supports, the world will have to wait for the next one that doesn't revolve around the holidays. That's my take. End of the day, it's my fucking channel, and I make the rules there.
Deal with it.
That's the way I look at all things. I just the word should, like, I get triggered when I see the word should. I just get absolutely triggered because I hate being told anything to do. Like when somebody tells me, I just
By now,
start
people
twitching. I
should
start
be.
twitching.
Yeah, I think they should know what to expect
I
from a
just start
giveaway
twitching with
from
that.
you.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But 3 years from now, that's a long time. So I'm not really too concerned with it now.
Yeah,
I look at it this way: in 3 years, I'm probably not going to. None of these quads on the back wall I'm going to have. They'll probably be destroyed and gone or lost or whatever at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
adapt and add. So I'm not really too concerned about that type of shit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. But I mean, it is annoying though, because, you know, we're trying to keep weight down on these things. And then I guess you could fall into the sub 250 gram category, but then as a YouTube content creator, they still expect you to abide by the broadcast ID. But I don't know who's gonna really be enforcing this stuff. Like, how are they? I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many gray areas with this. So only time will tell how hard they're going to go after you or anyone else who is making content and
Yeah, exactly.
applying these drones. And if it's just you should do this, but please, you have a head on your shoulders.
Right.
Please be aware, and then they will leave you away, and you can do whatever you want. I don't know.
Exactly. I think. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you don't poke the bear with things, you don't have to worry about any of this. Being where you are, you're exempt from having to worry about this. But like, as we see, you know, with creating content here, it sucks. It sucks sometimes because there's a lot of convolution. And then, you know, you look, there's tremendous amounts of creators that use drones daily, and they're just not even worried about, you know, the FAA. They probably don't even know the FAA exists, which is probably scarier. But that's a fact. That's like a legitimate thing at this point, which is sort of crazy. So I want to talk a little bit too about the creation side of things. You've got a very unique style when you put your videos together, because I think among everybody who's reviewing FPV or talking about FPV, you put a lot of effort into the production value of your videos, which I appreciate. Because it's not so the typical FPV video where it's a top-down shot of a cutting, you know, the cutting measurement thing, the mat, and, you know, the shitty lighting. I think you do a good job of putting out good, interesting B-roll, a good open-end sequence with the drone, and then you break it all down in the talking headshots. I mean, it's a lot of time and effort into all that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've watched far too many of these videos that you mentioned with the cutting
but
mats.
It's all the same. You know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
though.
Yeah. So I was thinking, wait, why are these people making the same videos over and over and over again? Aren't they super bored of making the same video pretty much with different models every single time? And I know some people like the way they make those videos, and I can respect that, of course. Everyone has different tastes, but for me, it gets repetitive and very boring very quickly. So for me, the thing about my channel is that I'm I'm trying to diversify my content in a way that makes me happy, because if I do the same things over and over again, I'll get depressed and I'll stop making videos altogether. Because for me, it's a little bit more about the creative aspect of making that video and how it's going to make me feel when I do the video. And of course, I want the viewer to like it as well, but I'm mostly doing these things for me because that's my way of, expressing myself,
right?
Even if I can say that. So for me, it's more of a challenge to just keep thinking of different ways to to stay interested in the area and in the creating aspect, because otherwise it's just the same for each model. You know how many models they release every week.
And that's the thing. They create so many different quads. They put out so many
Yeah,
different types of drones throughout the year, and they're just marginally different than the next one.
yeah,
So it
and
does
it's
make it
really
hard to review.
draining. Yeah, yeah.
It is mentally draining.
At one point, I think we even discussed that on Twitter. I think it became a struggle to keep receiving those drones, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this drone after I do the review. I don't want to just put it on my shelf or on my wall
I'm done
and
with
forget
that.
about it.
You
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
that wall over there? That's just one wall. That's just one
yeah,
wall in the office that is plagued with drones. That's most of my build, but the vast majority of those were sent to me, and they just sit there.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
decorations at this point. I don't really fly them. So I think my new rule is going to be, if I review something and if I'm like, if I don't find that I'm going to fly it every day, like the Cinewhoops, I'm just going to start giving them away. Like that's going to be, is
yeah, yeah,
providing that I don't destroy them in the process, which has happened. I'm just going to give them away. But the other thing that kills me is you review these drones and you're now flying something different.
yeah. That's the biggest
So
issue.
so you're constantly flying. So hang on a second here. So the person who won may not be in the chat. There was 9,955 entries in that Mavic 2 giveaway. So if Dana does not claim his prize in 24 hours, if he doesn't claim his prize in 24 hours, I will be redrawing that person. That's, in fairness, I have to give everybody the first right of refusal. So if he does not claim his prize in 24 hours, I will put it out on the community tab that he didn't claim his prize, and then I'm going to redraw the next winner. It's just that's how this shit works. I'll redraw the next winner, and then it'll be somebody from India, and I'll have to redraw again. It'll be somebody from India. I'll have to redraw again. So
I think you can just make those entries invalid.
I've invalidated. I invalidated 48 entries from there today, which is what it is.
Not
But
enough. Which is not
24
enough.
hours. So I haven't even sent him
Yeah.
the email yet that he is the winner. So I have to do that. I got to send him the email so that way he can have that. So if he doesn't claim his prize. So let me do this. I'll send him the email. I need you to claim. So I'll do this. Let's see if he emails me.
Once they get the email, they're pretty quick to reply for the most part.
I don't want to say claim this prize before the end of the show because I don't know if that's necessarily fair.
It's
I don't
not.
know. It's not.
Especially when it's the 1st of January.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
might be
I'm going to give leniency on
hungover.
that. I'm just going to say 24 hours.
That's fair.
I think that's beyond fair. If not, there we go. There we go. So I just sent the email. So we'll see if he responds before the end of the show. I'm about fairness. I mean, from Arlington, Texas.
Let's see.
We'll see what happens. Give him 24 hours, and then we'll go from there. All right. So, what camera you're using now? You still on the Sony system?
Yeah,
You're on that
A7 III.
Sony Life. A7 III, right?
Yeah, I was debating whether I should go and get a Blackmagic, because then
like
I
the
can fly it
colors.
on my drone as well.
Yes.
If I build a bigger drone. But the thing is, I don't want to get into that, because once I buy a Blackmagic, it's game over, because I will crash with it on the drone. I will
Yeah.
have to buy another one.
I don't know, man. The colors in the Blackmagic are pretty freaking amazing, though.
You're not making it any easier.
The problem. So I've looked over the footage so many different times, the Blackmagic 6K, the 4K, and you compare it to other cameras, and I'm just like, damn, it's just got this soft highlight roll off, and it looks amazing.
Yeah,
I ended up buying another Panasonic. I bought the S5 because the S5 to me has the colors of it sort of has that sort of cinematic feel to it. The colors, anyways, something I just couldn't ever really get out of Sony. I've tried, and it's just not this. It's not the same. For me, like Fuji, Blackmagic's, Panasonic cameras, they just have a very unique color. I like it, but
Yeah.
I'm also in the same boat as you. I will definitely put a DSLR on a quad if I can get one big enough, and the thicks. I
It's
would
just
put
a
a.
matter
I would put
of
a. I
time.
would do it.
Yeah.
I saw iFlight has one.
Yeah. I'm I might get one of these soon. And if the thing is, if they send me one, I'll probably need to buy a camera for it, because what's the point of having it
You
without the
got to.
camera, right?
You're gonna have to put it. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
put a
So
camera.
it's
They say to put a like a test, like a dummy weight on there, the weight of a camera, to make sure the
yeah.
ESCs and everything are able to handle it. I've noticed there's a group on Facebook called Cine Lifters, and they are all about like the Z cams, because there are these
Yeah.
little boxy cameras. And now
Yep.
Panasonic has come out with that little BG Micro Four Thirds camera. It's like literally it's a cube. It looks like the Allspark or something, but it's a cube and it's super durable. And they're saying it's probably the best camera to mount onto a drone because it's
That's
so
interesting.
small.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it hits the
And the
ground,
form factor
chances
as
of you
well.
destroying it. So the chances
Yeah.
of destroying it is not as great.
Yeah. I'm definitely not putting my Sony right now on a bigger drone as of
Yeah,
right now.
I don't know. I
I've
wouldn't
been
do it.
thinking about it. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
my only camera. I don't have like 5 cameras as you do, so I'm not risking it
I can't stop
for
fucking
now.
I can't stop
Yeah,
collecting
I
cameras.
know. I'm
I don't know.
enjoying seeing those posts on
I'm
Twitter.
psycho with cameras. I'm so psycho with cameras. I don't even
I
understand
think we
why.
might have a little issue with
I
like
do. You know what it is,
buying
man?
things,
I go in spurts. I say I want to simplify things. I say to myself, I want to simplify
but you
things.
never do.
I don't simplify shit. I don't simplify shit. I have a problem with I have an obsession with redundancy. I have to know if I break something,
Yeah.
I can just pick something back up again and I don't lose any downtime. My
Yeah.
fear has always been if I send something out for repair, how long is it going to take to put that back into my hands? So that's why I have multiples of things, and it's definitely a sincere problem. It really
It's funny to
fucking is.
observe from the side, but I guess in your position, it's
It's
scary.
it is scary. I don't know. I'm considering getting another S5 just because I want shit to match. But the Panasonics and the Fujis do match pretty well if you drop the same LUT on there. Somebody showed me. Oh, it's Jared Spink. He showed me this program where you can match 2 camera profiles, and he's like, it's pretty damn close. Like you can choose 2 camera profiles, and it matches the color science for you to a good extent. And I was like, okay, this is pretty handy, especially when you're trying to match, let's say, a Mavic 2 Pro to your interior camera or whatever it is,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
that's to me is super super handy. So I mean, it's a $200 program. It's definitely cheaper than buying another camera. So I may just do
I
that.
guess it wouldn't be it wouldn't be good enough for you, so you'll end up buying the camera
You
anyway.
know me. Yeah, probably
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm starting to
Mentally,
know
I
you
can't.
a little bit
I
better.
did
Yeah.
start editing on Mac though. I started using the Mac Mini to do all my edits and trying to get familiar with Final Cut Pro, which
Yeah.
I just can't believe how fast Final Cut Pro is.
It's
It blows
amazing.
me. It blows me
Yeah.
away.
I'm never switching to anything else because of that speed, to be honest.
The
It's just,
speed is
why would I
incredible.
do it? Why would I lose my time switching and learning another software after all the things that are going so well for me in Final Cut? I mean, it's just pointless, especially with the
Oh,
M1
man.
chip, even though I don't have a Mac Mini with M1, but
It's
you know,
fast, but I did notice I made the mistake of getting 8 gigs of RAM. I
yeah.
made the mistake of getting 8 gigs of RAM on the Mini, but the Mini was actually not meant to be edited on. I was buying it for other programs that I use that require Final Cut, or not Final Cut, require Mac OS.
Yeah.
And there's certain instances where I find like my drones connect better to Mac when I'm running through calibrating, let's say going through Betaflight, or if I'm going through Emu,
Oh, they do.
or
It's
even
because you don't have to install
right.
drivers
There's no
and
drivers. It's an
yeah.
instant connection. So for
Yeah,
me, that's why I like Mac, is when you're programming with these quads, it's easier to connect up to a Mac than it is a Windows computer and have to wait for drivers to install.
definitely. Yeah.
That's, I mean, but the speed is incredible. If I'm not doing really super taxing tasks while I'm editing, the M1 chip on the Mini with 8 gigs of RAM is more than enough.
Yeah.
But it's just the learning curve of going from,
Yeah, that
Premiere
takes time
Premiere
to get
Pro.
used. Yeah.
It does take some time to get used to, but I do like it. I'm probably going to start learning DaVinci Resolve too, I think, just because they have
Yeah,
a
it's
beta.
it's a good middle ground between, Final Cut
I think
and
so.
Premiere. So you can always use it.
Something that, one of the things I hate about the Mini 2 is just sometimes the attention that it draws to the channels. I almost fucking hate dealing with it. Like, it makes me want to take a hammer to my other Mini and just smash it so people will hate me. Like,
That will be a viral video.
sometimes I just want to smash it with a hammer and just tell people how much I hate the fucking Mini, even though it's a great drone, but I fucking hate it because of the attention it draws. I'll burn it to the ground. Fucking people.
Hey, you need to do one of those crash videos that We Talk UAV.
Oh
They
yeah,
do.
dude, they're always smashing and crashing things.
Yeah,
I mean, they're always smashing and crashing stuff, that's like, you can guarantee that's like the first video, but they haven't done them as much. I heard somebody said that We Talk at UAV was actually sponsored for a while by DJI.
really. I don't know.
That's what I heard.
That might be the
I don't
case.
know
I
if
don't know.
that was true or not, but I did notice they all of a sudden started reviewing and looking at other drones more recently, which I thought was interesting. But
Yeah,
who
you never
knows?
know what type of contracts these channels
You don't
have with
know. You
different
never know.
companies. Yeah,
But I am excited for like whatever DJI does bring to the FPV side. Like, it's gonna be cool to see that drone finally released.
me
Like, we've
too.
seen enough of leaks on it. I think that'll
Yeah,
be
I hate
pretty
that
dope.
side of it, of just talking about it, making countless videos about leaks and stuff,
I know.
and in the end, and saying bad things about the drone without ever
People
seeing what
just
it
won't
can do.
know.
Yeah,
Right. They
and then
won't
in the
know.
end, you are going to buy it anyway because
Exactly.
most
Exactly.
people do.
I
So
mean,
it's
especially
just a
with
pointless
us,
game.
we fly, we're this is sort of the name of the game. We make videos, we fly it, so we're obviously going to buy it, and we're going to do
Yeah,
whatever we do
we'll
with it.
see
Who
what it's
knows?
about.
We'll see what it's about. It could be amazing, it could be, a bust. I think, if they're putting their effort into something like this, I think it'll be pretty amazing. So, we'll
I
have to
think so
see.
too. Yeah,
We'll
I
have to
think it will
see.
be a good drone. It might not be as close to what we have in the 5-inch quads, but
Yeah.
it will be a good drone, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to have a unique place in the market for these types of shots.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's craving those cinematic style shots as of late. Like, everybody wants those really tight, like, sort of wowing shots that we
yeah.
see so much of. This may be the easiest way to get it.
That might be, yeah.
That may be. We won't know. We'll see. We'll see soon
Yeah,
enough. But
we'll see. Yeah, we'll
Mike,
see.
dude, I appreciate you coming on, man, hanging out this morning. Um,
It's a
I'm gonna do
pleasure.
more of these. I'm gonna
Always.
do more of these sort of mid morning streams like this. I think it's great to have creators from overseas on and chat and
Oh yeah.
chill. So, dude,
Yeah,
thank you
for me
so
it's a
much, man. Best of luck,
perfect
2021,
timing.
dude.
Thank you. Likewise. I always enjoy your content and
Dude, I
want to thank
appreciate
you
it.
for inviting me
Awesome, man.
as
Well, thank
usual.
you. Have a good day, brother.
You too.
See you, man. Alrighty. Well, that was good, man. I always enjoy hanging out, chatting with Mike whenever I can. If you're not already subscribed to Mike's YouTube channel, I'll have a link down below in the show notes where you can go ahead and check his channel out. He's also on Twitter. He's pretty active there. So I'd encourage you to go follow him there. He's also on Instagram, Drone Supremacy. He's always putting up some pretty amazing shots of his country. So check him out. Good stuff. Thank you, Fly High Wisconsin, for throwing the channel out there. I appreciate that, man. Always good. Alrighty, but that's gonna do it for the New Year's stream. I am mentally spent. I'm gonna go probably drink some alcohol, and I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I'll probably bang my wife or something like that because it's a new year. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, stay original.
I want you, I need you. You got me right where you want me, baby. Ooh, yeah. And who knew what you do could stop me cold in my tracks, yeah. Why don't you get up off of these high hypotheses? I'm not Socrates, I'm not trying to be cool. Yeah, yeah. I think it's time to change the scene. Ditch the limousine, chicks and cellophane. I just came to see you. They can touch us, it don't matter. Calls and ruckus, what's who's got us? We got something they never heard of. We got original. We got original. We got original. We got original. We don't need a reason to do whatever we want to do. Yeah. Just don't be believing whatever gossip they